Holy moly, it's another Jaffa-Run. What does that mean? It means you can get any of these plants, if you're anywhere between Kaitaia and Auckland, free delivery. How does that work? Well, under the name of King Agricultural, we sell all kinds of equipment to help people grow things. But under the name of Ben's Garden, I've got a brother, Bernard, and he's been growing cool plants like this since the first Star Wars movie. And this is the range that we've got on our special for Jaffa-Run week. So check out the prices down there, that's really good. We don't just grab any old seeds from like fruit from the shop and chuck them in the ground and send them out there. Ben has been working on these plant varieties for decades, and so we've got a collection of the ones that will have the best chance to do well and fruit in New Zealand given the right care and conditions. And you can get help with that too, so check out, those are the prices. Right, now I'm going to cover all of the things you need to know about ordering at the end of the video, but let's look at the various plants just quickly that are on offer. What we're going to do is for each one, I'll show you the plant that we've got for sale so you can see the size and what they look like. We'll also show you what the fruit looks like, and also what the parent tree that it comes from looks like, so you've got an idea of the size and shape and things like that. We try really hard to show our own photographs, so it's not just off the internet of what it potentially could look like. So you're looking at the fruit that come from, you know, this tree, our trees, the parent tree that it comes from. Where that's not possible, we like to disclose that. So these ones here are all our own photographs of the fruit. These ones here, I don't have the fruit or parent tree photographs because when I was supposed to, I couldn't take the photos because the airline sent my camera bag back to New Zealand instead of where it was supposed to go, so I didn't have anything to take photos with. That one there we don't have any for either. The finger lime, I can't find the photo for that at the moment, and I promise next time we get fruit I'll take my own photographs for it. Alright, so let's get started. The first one is a sandpaper fig. Those are our fruit there. There's our plant, and there's a normal fig tree, and right next to it is sandpaper fig, and so the fruit are a lot smaller and they last a long time. They don't, because they're not really juicy like waterlogged like a normal fig, so they last a long time on the tree, and you can do all sorts of fancy things with them. So they end up like, you have to hydrate them to do something with them, and they make a really amazing fig jam because they're nice and like chewy. But yeah, very special fig. And why do they say sandpaper fig? Well, the fruit isn't sandpapery, but the leaves are. So you polish your best boomerangs and didgeridoos using the leaves of these things. With these, I make a jam and jellied candies. If you think about the nicest dried fig that you've tasted, that's about the flavour of these if you sort of do something with them. And our lucuma, our winners, has an exceptional good butterscotch flavour. If you've ever heard people say the lucuma they tried, maybe they imported some powder, was a bit bland, because some of them they can taste more like acorn powder, but this one comes from Montalban parent, and it's extremely good flavour, very rich, intense, distinct butterscotch flavour, and you can just eat them straight. They normally don't have a split in it like those last ones. That was just like extra big ones there. That's my famous baobab and lucuma cake, made out of semolina, not normal flour. And yep, you got one. People will come from far to look at it. It's that one up on the left there. Our jabuticaba has fruited in record time. The parent tree fruited at 7.5 years, and look at the plants on sale. They are super bushy and thick, really ready to motor, decent sized fruit and very sweet, and loaded. Normally gets 2 or 3 crops a year, and it's sometimes it's even loaded even more than that, but it's just like, you know, they get eaten off, don't they? There's the tree up in the middle there. And it's not unusual to see ripe fruit
and unripe fruit and even flowers all on the same branch, sort of thing. So yeah, see they're flowering there, packed. So you see how packed they are when they're green because they haven't been eaten yet. Oops, Ben just had to take off a second. He might be back soon. There's somebody come around to pick some stuff up, but this could be a good time to have a quick intermission. I'll show you a couple of things. So, by the way, just while I'm running over here, before I get back, can you just do us a favour and click on the like and subscribe, because that's going to help you and other people like you see stuff like this. You know how it goes. Now you might be into growing your tropical trees and stuff like that, but everybody eats vegetables, which is a good thing, but they're really expensive at the shop and everybody complains about it. But it takes no time at all to chuck some seeds into the ground, look at all the prices and things. So there's a couple of seeders that mean that you don't have any excuses, because it's too much effort looking after a garden, but it's not when you can lay seeds down like this. So for this one here, any big seeds or medium-sized seeds, even corn, peas, beans, things like that, even like beets. So any seeds that are basically like 3mm or upwards, and you can just sort of just go like this. You walk along like that. See the video? It goes like that. There's another video called All the King Cedars. Search All the King Cedars on YouTube, and you'll find it. We've got all sorts of cedars. So basically, when you push it down, this is what happens. It's got two beaks, so out one will come seed, corn or beans or whatever, and out the other one, if you fill up this side too, then it drops down some fertiliser, not with the seed, but next to the seed. So it's really, really good, and especially if you prepare some ground up, and then if you've got some elderly people or some kids or whatever, and they can just sort of walk along like this from one end to the other, and before you know it, you've got a whole lot of stuff planted. And every time you go like this, that's like big dollars worth of veggies, isn't it? And then this one here, so for seeds that you want to get a bit of a jump start, so just plant them in trays, put the seeds in trays, and away they come. Or if you haven't got time for that, you just want to use by the punnets from the shops, $6 for 3 trays or however they sell them for. So all you need to do is you've got some prepared ground that's relatively soft, and you just poke it into the ground like that. You've got a tray, somebody's standing there with a tray, you pop it down there like that, and then lift this, and as it goes, and it just beds it in, and sometimes you have to just go like that with your foot, and away you go. And there is a single-handed one too, only for the pros, like doing it on your own, not somebody passing you the thing. So you can have a tray here like this, and you chuck it in there like that, and then you just go like this, and away you go, and you can just go bang, bang, bang. Here's a video of somebody else doing it much better than me. But anyway, I sell these things, and so think about it. How much extra money are you going to have in your pocket to be able to buy tropical trees if you can grow your own veggies? Because boy, they rip you off, don't they? Alright, we're back to it with the guava. Now the guava, it looks very similar to a jabuticaba, but it's a bit smaller, but the taste is surprisingly quite similar. There's some of our plants, they vary in size a bit, but they are very healthy. These are the parent trees from about 2 years ago, about 6 feet, and this is this year, and they've grown another 2 feet on top of that, so they make a really good hedge. This is what the bark looks like. So they've got that flaky bark, and if you want a specimen tree and you want to make a feature of that, you could sort of strip it down further. There's a fruit picture, just going through these quickly. And carambola, our carambola, I doubt if you'd find a better one around, although there's different tasting carambolas around, and you can use some for eating straight and others, well, they can vary in sweetness and that sort of thing. Our one is mild, sweet. There's our plants, but every couple of days you're noticing a difference. They're bushing out and up. And this is a good way to start them off, just with some pegs in the ground and some plastic around it. Super hot days, you can pull the plastic down a bit. Look at that. I won't tell you what the fruit is on the left, but star fruit on the right. That's our fruit. Look at how they are. And the more yellow they are, especially all the way through the fins, the sweeter they are. That means they've got less or none of that oxalic acid, which gives it the bitterness. And people who are pregnant shouldn't have the ones that have got too much oxalic acid in it. I always check to see if I'm pregnant before I eat them, but look at that. So, and these ones are just in PB95 planter bags because we haven't planted them out. And look at that, a really clever bird has put a home next to these star fruit. So, cheeky beggar, eh? So there you go. And so this is a very special source. Ours are from Hawaii. There's a fruit, some flowers there, and we're developing three different varieties, which will be available in maybe a couple of years. So they start off like that. They go like that, and so you can grow them inside. But if you're growing them in, oh, there you go. You can make all sorts of stuff with it. It's pork pies with dry them a few way. You know, ours are good enough to eat just as they are, but we just have so many of them. They get used in curries and all sorts of stuff. And look at that. There's if they grow straight up. This one's growing quite tall and skinny because it's only got a small hole in the concrete, and that's the fruit from the second floor. So people come all around. Oh, the jackfruit. Okay, so this jackfruit, I've tasted it from the parent tree, but I couldn't take photos. I didn't have my camera. Got the airline sent them back to New Zealand. Stupid idiots. But the flavour is really, really good. It's there's a story about that. I'll tell you one day. But the fruit is a lot better than I've tasted from other jackfruit and marula. Same thing. That's not our fruit. And this is what they look like before the winter. So these ones on sale. This is what they look like before the winter, and this is what they look like 2 weeks ago. So these are real survivors. They learn if it's a cold winter, they drop their leaves. And look at the base there. It's just starting, but at the base they become really thick, a bit like a baobab type thing. Yeah, so they're great survivors. They store water in the bottom. When it's cold, they drop the leaves, and then the leaves come back on. And if you notice these leaves here, they have a sort of a waxy coat on it to protect it against, like if it's super hot. So it's a survivor, and so like especially South Africa, where in the southern parts and around there, it can be quite cold in the desert, and it can be quite hot too. And that's the part you're looking for. Maybe not. That's what you can make with it. Finger lime. Our finger lime is a really good one. I had to Photoshop this picture here because I couldn't find one on the internet. I found the right skin, and I found another one with the wrong skin but the right flavoured insides, and I matched them together. So this is what our plants look like. They are very healthy and going for it. Our ones have quite a nice open branch structure, which is good, so that it's easy to get your hand into them and pick them, so it's not like a trying to stroke an angry cat kind of thing. And I'll tell you more about it another day, another video. Suriname cherry, our ones are a very good, come from a very good strain, collected from a well-known grower in the World Rare Fruit Council and California growers, and he's picked. He's been working with Suriname for a few decades. Ben's been growing these things since back in the early 80s, and this is the nicest one that we've come across. And if you've seen them before, you've got a nice foliage. They start off like that, but like how mango starts off, reddy or purpley or whatever, and it goes like that. So there's our fruit. They're a decent size. Nice, eh? And you can always go in there and you can see them, you know, you pick the ripest ones, and the next day there's more and more. But look on the internet for that. We've just got them. We've got the seeds and from overseas, from people who supply us with other things. And yeah, you can eat the nuts. But the big thing about these is that they're just a very nice specimen plant. So the big feature about it is the leaves and the shape that it has. Planted against like a wall or something, so you can really get the, you know, the full benefit of the shape. Make sure you keep the bugs away from it, because the leaves are really lush, and any self-respecting bug would want to have a go at that. Enjoy eating it. Should say about the marula, you need a female and a male to fruit, so we suggest buying 3 to improve your chances, and so we've got a special price for 3. And this is a list of things that are not quite ready now, but will be ready over the next few weeks, probably during December, because we don't send out little wee sprouts and that type of thing. Don't buy little wee sprouts from people. We're always hearing from people who say, we've stopped buying those little cheaper ones, because we just find that, you know, that you put them in, and a lot of them don't last. So get yourself, you know, if you're buying tropical and subtropical trees, you know, get ones that have a decent start on them, so they've got a best chance to do something for you.
This is how it works. So we're going from, on Friday, this Friday, from Kaitaia down to Auckland, State Highway 10, right through State Highway 1, and away we go. And this is the tentative plan, schedule of where we can meet. Now, if you're in another spot along here somewhere, just email us to say, look, I want these plants, and can you stop here at the Gull Station or somewhere where it's easy for us to stop, just pull in, drop off your plants, and away we go. That's how it works. Now, if you're from Auckland or anywhere around there, you can collect from Hillcrest. So what happens is we end up arriving at Hillcrest at around about 4 or 5 or 6, that kind of time, and we drop off any of those plants there. Now, those are there for your collection, but you've got to arrange a time to collect them. And so from there, you can call those people, because they're not there all the time, they're there most of the time. Call them and arrange a time to collect. The cut-off time to pay for these is 10 o'clock on Thursday, so we know everything's paid for before we load up and go. If for some reason you don't have the ability to do online banking, then okay, we can do cash, but that other way is preferred. We like to have things paid before they're loaded, and we don't get confused. If you've got any questions about any of these tropical fruit trees, then go to our Ben's Garden Facebook page, and Ben will be monitoring that this week, checking it a few times a day. So you might want to know, I've got a section that's like this and sloping and whatever, will this do good for that? Do I need a greenhouse for that thing? That type of thing. Any questions at all, Ben will be happy to answer. So go to Facebook and use the messenger there. Otherwise, send an email to myself or to Ben. Now, later today, or maybe tomorrow, there will be another video that goes a little bit more into depth about these particular tropical fruit trees, some special things about them, you know, how to grow them, you know, a few details like that. So it would be really good if you like, share and subscribe. We hardly ever post things, but when we do, it's usually pretty good stuff. And coming up from about Friday onwards, about once every few weeks, we're going to be doing a series called Walkabout. We've filmed the first one already, so that means we just go around our jungle, and anything special that pops up, maybe something's fruiting or flowering at the moment, and you know, this is some pretty cool stuff up there. What have we got at the moment? We've got bayberry, that Chinese bayberry, young May. We've got those, loads and loads of fruit, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, this is a good sort of hobby to get into if you haven't already, and Ben's the absolute guru on, helping people to grow these sorts of things.